All right, welcome to my balloon calculator and inventory tracker. The purpose of this tool is to be able to easily determine how many balloons you're going to need for your upcoming jobs, keep track of how many balloons you have in stock, so that ultimately you can know how many balloons you need to order. I love it because it eliminates the guesswork, and so we're never really running out of balloons. We're also not buying way too much of some random color that you don't need. But I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how this all works. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and go to File and make a copy. You will have a view only option, but in order to customize it and do your calculations, you need to make a copy to save to your own Google Drive. So go ahead and go and do that first. And then I'll just show you step by step a few things about it. One thing I want to point out is that we do only have currently 3 of the main brands on here. For inventory, we have Qualitex, Sempertex, and Tuftex. These are the ones that we use the most, but we are going to be doing an expansion where we add on other brands like Calisan and Jamar. But let me know if you have any other brands that you specifically use that you would like to see in the expansion. I just didn't want to make it too overwhelming for starting out. And the other thing is all of the brand colors are listed by their brand name. So for example, if you usually just call Sempertex version of this color, just call it raspberry, that's great, except it's going to be under deluxe raspberry because that is what Sempertex calls it. So that might be a little bit of a thing to get used to, but if you ever struggle with finding the color, you can always do Command F, Control F, depending on what kind of computer you're using, and type it in. If you're looking for raspberry, start to type it in. Oh, okay, sorry, it's under deluxe raspberry. Got it. So just a few tips on that really quick. They are listed in alphabetical order, so that should help as far as finding things. The very first thing you're going to want to do when you start out is customize it to your own formulas and preferences. I have in here what we do for our formulas. So if you don't have a formula, it's going to at least get you pretty close to what you're going to need. But I would always recommend that you have some kind of formula for your different decor. Specifically for something like an organic garland, that is very specific to how you build it. You can go in and, build a garland and count how many balloons you have in 1 foot and do it that way. Or if, let's say, your formulas are based on 6-foot sections, that's fine. All of our formulas and things for the calculator are based on 1 individual foot per foot. So if you don't know what it is per foot, but you've based it on a 6-foot, all you need to do is take those numbers and divide it by 6, okay? Don't worry if these numbers right here are decimals, okay? 5.35-inch balloons, that's oddly specific and weird. But that's just because that's how it kind of ends up working out with how we build our garlands. It's never going to tell you to go buy 17.2 balloons, okay? So don't worry about that. If you've got decimals in there, that's okay. All right, so all of our formulas are going to be in this orange color right here. Anything that is custom to what you need to figure out on your own is orange. You're welcome to use ours, but if you're using ours to calculate it and then using yours to build it, it's going to be a little bit off probably. All right, so anything in orange is things that you should customize on your own. Once you do it the first time, you don't need to do it again unless you've changed your formula. So that's kind of your setup here. Once you've done that, it's going to be a lot easier and smooth sailing from here. So step 1 after your initial setup is to go into your inventory and take stock of what you have. All right. This is by bag. So I don't want you to count out that I have 74 5-inch of blush and I have 23 11-inch of blush. If you want to do that, by all means, be my guest. I find it very tedious, so I just go by the bag. If I have a little bit, and I have like 75-ish or like 3/4 of a bag, I'm just going to round that up to a bag. If I have 3, I'm not going to round that up to a full bag. Okay, so use your judgment. Normally what we do is if we have an open bag, I don't normally count it. But if it's pretty close, I might. So you just need to determine what works best for you. We do keep a back stock, so it's not as big of a deal for me if we're off by a bag or two. But for this sake, normally I say if it's open, don't count it, and then you're always in the clear. All right, so go through, look at how many full bags you have, right? And you're going to just start entering those numbers here, however you see fit and what you actually have, all right? On this page, the only thing that you are going to ever edit is this green column. Green on both sheets is going to be your input section, all right? Once you've got that in, then you can go on to your step 2, which is back over in this first tab, the quantity calculator. All right, step 2, you're going to go through and kind of add the jobs that you have coming up. So for example, we fill out this notepad with anything you're going to be needing. I like to kind of put the job name so that I know. So let's just do one. Let's do one that I have coming up. We have an event for crumble coming up. So I'm just going to write crumble. I need 20 organic columns, and we're going to use the colors of pink, pastel, pink, white, and black. All right. Now, as you saw, I don't have my inventory in there right now, but that's okay. You'll get the idea. All right. So I'm going to need 20 organic columns. Now, we were playing with this earlier, so it's already got the right numbers in here, but let's start over here. We need 20 organic columns, and we need it in 4 colors. So I'm going to come to the organic columns right over here. Number of columns I need is 20. Height in feet, not including toppers. So ours are about 6 feet tall. Yours might be different. Again, just adjust to what you need. It's going to spit out that I need... it's going to spit out that I need to have 120 feet of worth of organic columns, but that doesn't matter to me. All right. What I actually need to know is our total number of balloons, or I can adjust down here how many I need per color. So let's say I was only doing 2 colors. It's going to tell me I need 480 5-inch of color A and 480 5-inch of color B. We are going to do 4, so I'm going to leave it as is. So this tells me I'm going to need 240 pink, I'm going to need 240 pastel pink, I'm going to need 240 white, I'm going to need 240 onyx black of the 5-inch. Now this is calculating that like all of your colors are proportionate. If you know it's going to be really heavy on one color, you're going to need to adjust appropriately. And maybe in that case, these numbers right here, the total balloons needed, is going to be a better fit for you. So you don't have to use the number of colors down at the bottom. That's just an option. But if you want a rough guideline of about how many colors you're going to need, this is it down here. So what I would do from here is take these numbers, 240, 180, and 61, and I'm just going to put them over here, 240, 180, and 61. Great. I'm going to move on to the next one. I normally come in and have them all filled out ahead of time, but I haven't done that. So let's go back to crumble. I also know that we need 125 feet of organic garland in the same colors. I love crumble, but we do sometimes get a little sick of seeing those same colors. But it's great, right? You roll with what you've got. Okay, so we've got 125 feet of organic garland. Again, we find our organic garland here. I obnoxiously have already put that in. Our green field is our input field. So you can change this to 30 feet if that's what you're doing. If you're doing 15 feet, you can see that the numbers are changing here as I put it in. But we do need to build 125 feet. Again, I do need about equal distribution of colors, so I am going to take these numbers down here. If I know that I actually need it to be like 75% white, with just accents of others. I might take these numbers and do my own calculations, but for now, this is getting me close enough. So I'm going to do 166, 235, 32, and 5. Okay. I'm actually going to use Qualitex, which doesn't have 24 inch, so I'm going to put that there. All right. So you can go ahead and I normally put in all of my jobs for the week, anything that we have coming up. Sometimes I'll do 2 weeks, however far out we're going, right? I'm going to go through and just calculate all these different things. Okay. Once I've got it situated, now I should show you this. We've got organic garlands. I would use organic garland calculator for anything like a demi-arch, a freestanding garland, a hoop frame, anything on a backdrop, really anything where you're going to basically be making a garland and putting it on something else. We've got organic columns. We've got organic arches. Our formulas are a little different for those, so I have those broken up.